Good morning, everybody, and this is the S&P 500 day trade setups for today. So a pretty interesting situation that is brewing here, and I think this is the first thing we need to pay attention to. We've had a fairly solid break above this previous high, and as I've been saying, it is in head and shoulders. There is your left shoulder, here is your head, the tail down here is the bottom of your head, and then you come back up and there is your right shoulder there. So we don't quite have crossovers just yet on the moving averages, and we are also extremely overbought at the moment. But we can stay overbought for extended periods of times or oversold. So don't take that as an indicator of exactly what's going on just yet. We do have a fairly solid bit of overhead resistance, a little bit higher than this breakout, which is up here at 38.95. So I would argue probably 4,000 is what we're stretching for at the moment. So 38.50, then 4,000. It's tending to be, it has tended to move in 50-point zones, should I say, the last couple of weeks. So that's kind of the one setup. I think if you look at the other setup here, which is on the weekly, we're back at the weekly 155. So obviously a rejection here would validate a bigger downtrend. So you would need to break below the lows of this weekly bar, provided we don't close above it. So if we kind of reject this zone of the 155, then a potential move for the downside. But look what's happening with the oscillators. We are pointing up and it looks like a crossover, and we're about to break the 20. So this week or next week, we're going to have a direction one way or the other. So it's either going to be a retest of the break of the 155 for a continuation down, or it is going to be a break above the 155 for a pullback and support to get into this zone here between the moving averages, which we can expect some volatility then. So that's kind of the long-term view, and the longer-term view is pretty much, let's just do this. I'm not even going to bother drawing the top line, but you can see that flag clear as daylight, and that is a flag equal to this move here. This is really interesting times, specifically for your long-term portfolios. So well worth paying attention to the weekly charts at the moment. Let's just drill down to what we need to be looking at today to trade. We've had this gap up, gap down. There's a whole lot of chaos happening here. We'll look at that on the lower time frames, which is one of the reasons why I'm a little bit skeptical. We do have a moving average crossover here, and we are slowly starting to get a separation of the oscillators here. So my opinion at the moment, we've had some relatively good results. We've got some more of the FANG stocks coming in today and tomorrow. So this is the zone we need to pay attention to. If the earnings keep coming out like they're coming out, this is just going to keep driving us up slowly. Does it necessarily mean the economy is changing? No, but it could give some indication to people that it may potentially change. Remember, a lot of your long-term investors are betting on the future, not on what's happening right now. So they're betting on a recovery over the next 18 months or 24 months, then they start putting their positions in accordingly. So this is kind of the setup that we've seen. I'm still looking for a little bit more confirmation before jumping in. So wary of being trapped in the situation, and this is exactly what typically tends to happen. So you can see we had this gap down after hours, which was obviously one set of results that came out after hours, which I haven't looked at them yet, but I know Alphabet was coming out after hours. So just see if there's anything there. But that's pretty much what would have impacted that. Not a big drop, well, relative to the market that we've been trading. So it's pretty much almost a 0.5% drop. So nothing earth-shattering as far as I'm concerned, but this exhaustion bar above this level is also interesting. I would expect us to come back into this zone. Pay attention to these oscillators on the hour. We are in an upward trend, so if we start grouping to the downside, or just start rolling in the middle of the zone here between the 80 and the 20, and we are coming up to structure, it would be well worth the bet to the upside. This is my first level, which is 3808 or 3800. If we can hold that, and again 15 minutes is what you want to be paying attention to, what we're looking for is a pullback onto any one of these tails here, okay, and even these tails on the bottom. So anywhere in this zone we're looking for a pullback, and if you look at the oscillators in the 15-minute, there is another leg coming down. So I would say this is our opportunity here at 3808, 3800. You're looking for price action here, inside bars, engulfing bars, or pin bars on the level, and you might as well just drop it a bit lower. That's the mini zone that you'd be looking at. So you can see 3800 here is right on the 155 EMA. So that's kind of the area I'd be paying attention to. If the buyers start coming in here, you got price action, you can basically just jump in on the break of your price action, put your stop just below it, and you're looking fairly interesting. So you're probably going to end up with a 100-point stop loss, which is well worth the risk for a move to this area here at 38.95, or should we say 4,000. I'd actually take some off at 38.50 and then 4,000. Well, 38.95 and then head up to 4,000, so 3,900 first. Anyway, that's kind of the view that I've got at the moment. So yeah, so Google was a miss, which is obviously what happened, but Microsoft was a win. So Google revenue was quite a bit down. So that's basically what this gap down was after hours here. So that may impact us just for another squirt down, but then we've got some fairly interesting results coming out today, which is going to be Meta, Facebook, which is coming out also after the bell. So those are the big players that we have in the market. Okay, anyway, that's kind of me at the moment. I think volatility this week is going to be interesting because we've got a number of large cap stocks releasing their results. Hope that helps, and we will catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.